Back with another happy hour episode. Did I open it? Oh my god, I didn't open this. Add this in as a blooper too. We're doing beverages and non-alcoholic beverages of the MBTI types. Because last week or last time we did like the drugs, the alcohol is one of the drugs. So like now it's like non-alcoholic beverages, but caffeinated is okay. So those were the criteria.
And it's actually kind of summery in Canada at this time, which is like
Shock.
Not always the case. Yeah. I'll start with ISTJ. So for ISTJ, I said Earl Grey tea. The bergamot subtle flavor is it reminds me of like this kind of SIFI kind of sense of like subtle nuance.
Okay.
And I don't know, just that kind of like the general image that Earl Grey tea conjures of like sitting at home in like a cozy blanket and kind of like in this little introverted time, this really comfy space just kind of gives me like ISTJ vibes. Oh, plus generally how I structured mine was for all the TJs I did caffeinated drinks because I thought of like caffeine as that like TE effectiveness.
Right. Yeah, this was when I was starting to run out of drinks in the world, so I put lemonade. Because I think of like a little entrepreneurial kid selling lemonade like to make money, and it's also like lemonade with the association with summer and kids and like summer vacation. It's very SI and FI to me, right. So I wrote that.
Okay, INTJ. For INTJ, I put chai latte. So again, it's like a TE caffeinated beverage. I thought of this chai latte as like a blend of like many distinct SE flavors, but then it kind of boils down into this singular NI flavor profile that people recognize. So maybe that's kind of the way that like SE has all these data points and combines it to the singular thing.
I put water actually because something about water in like the political environmental landscape just makes me think of NI and TE because like, do we have enough clean water? Is it gonna deplete soon? Like, it's just like a very practical long-term consideration. And also like water is a base source of life, so I feel like that's very NI. And also like the FE blind spot of INTJs because like I feel like water is one of the beverages that has zero social or symbolic connotation. Like if someone comes to your home and you offer them like tea or whiskey, you can tell something about the person, but if you offer water, you can tell nothing about anyone. It's just so it made me think of FE blind, like no social connotation.
Oh, that's so funny. I probably offer people water when they come.
That's fine. I do too.
ESTJ. I put mocha coffee or like a mocha latte or something like that. So again, caffeinated is like TE. I thought of like combining coffee and chocolate as kind of like an NE kind of like random association thing. And to me, like mocha is kind of like associated with like winter and kind of almost like hot chocolate or that kind of thing. So I thought it has this very kind of SI distinct association with it.
Oh, for ESTJ, I just wrote energy drink because I don't know, I feel like their TE and NE are just on about doing so many different things and like finishing them. And energy drink is also like bubbly, which makes me think of NE. I just came up with that, but it's also like sweet and bubbly, which makes me think of like the hidden little like INFP shadow self underneath all of the TE effectiveness. And okay, also I think ESTJs, like they try to manage you and force you to do stuff, which I think also energy drinks will do to you.
ENTJ. So for ENTJ, I put cappuccino. So again, it's like caffeine, but because it's like a TE dom, it's like a really strong condensed form of caffeine. And yeah, and I guess I thought of like the fact that it's very distilled as kind of like NI distilling a bunch of information into like all these like very general truths.
Okay, first of all the variations of coffee just counted as coffee to me. But anyway, we have like a match because I put coffee for ENTJ because coffee is very efficient in getting you to be aware, which is very like SE, and then to accomplish stuff and wake up in the morning, which is all the things that an ENTJ manager is supposed to do.
Sorry, I guess I do not have like the NE to think of like 16 completely separate beverages. So I have to be like, okay, a bunch of caffeinated.
That's why I ran out and put lemonade for ISFJ.
So let's move on to FJs. So for ISFJ, I put lemonade. So that's kind of almost like a half match. So generally, how I approached all the FJs is I put like kind of like a sweet thing, because I thought of like FE as like external effectiveness in the way that you would kind of think of sweetness as a personality trait. So
the way that you categorize these is very NI. Like I just did them each one separately.
I think lemonade has a very strong like SI association, which you kind of have like this summery like backyard party kind of thing, or like sitting on your front porch or that kind of thing. So I thought of as a ISFJ.
Okay, I was actually so happy with this one. I put T for the ISFJ because T has like a super long history, no matter if it's like China or Asia or Britain, and it has a ton of social connotations, which make me think of FE. And then you just think of like people having tea parties or tea ceremonies where it's kind of structured, right? It's not just like a random meeting. It's like a very socially structured, coordinated thing, which is just so SIFE to me. So T.
Okay, INFJ. I put pomegranate juice.
It's
again.
By the way, juice was one thing to me, but okay.
That's so SI. It's like juice as a category is all the same, but like SE, it's like pomegranate juice is different than this juice and that. From different fruits. Even though it's kind of like bitter, it's actually like quite a sweet drink. It kind of has like
INFJ.
No, I'm not saying that.
I'm kidding.
I'm saying it still has that FE sweetness. It has like a very kind of like intense flavor and a very dark color, and for some reason I kind of associate that with like a dominant NI. And it's also kind of rare because like at least here like the only pomegranate juice we have is like that pom variety, and it's also kind of in that weird little bottle with like it's like a snowman. So I think of that as kind of like a unique rare thing that I associate with the INFJ.
Oh, for INFJ I wrote kombucha, and I was like, it's definitely gonna be kombucha. It's like tea, but it's like super distilled or fermented, so I just feel like it's this tea that's gone through this NI like crystallization process to become kombucha, which is supposed to be really good for you, which I also think of as like FE and INFJs. And also it just has all this like environmental or hippie culture behind it, which I also think of as INFJ. Just everything is just so INFJ about kombucha.
ESFJ. For ESFJ, I put CocaCola. So again, it's like a sweet drink, FE. It has that bubbliness, which is like that tertiary NE. Coca-Cola to me has like a very strong SI association with the past, or like maybe with like the 50s, with like that kind of glass bottle shaped like that, and like two little teenagers like drinking it with their straws, and I just think of like,
so
I don't know,
Shoot, that was like my one chance for like a match. I put milk because I don't know, just milk is like the most maternal and nurturing drink, so yeah, it was definitely gonna be that.
ENFJ. So for ENFJ, I kind of cheated because I think in the previous one, in the fruit one, I kind of did the same thing. I put orange juice, and I think in the previous one I put orange for ENFJ for the same reasons, but I'm sorry. Orange juice is very sweet, and the citrus flavor is kind of like uplifting and inspiring, and I feel like FENI is kind of usually like trying to like uplift others or trying to make other people see their like long-term potential that they hold, and that's kind of the role ENFJs take sometimes.
Okay, it's kind of a match because I put juice.
Okay.
Juice is like this NI distillation of fruit. It kind of is, and then this concentrated like vitamin C, good for you energy is just so FE, like you can do it, you can do it, drink some juice and then go run that marathon. So put juice.
Go drink some juice with a marathon.
That's what Jay would say.
Okay, so moving on to the FPs. So for ISFP, I put coconut water. With coconut water, you can, I think, drink it like right from the coconut. It's kind of already in its form in like SE reality. So that makes me think of like high SE. For all the FPs, I think I kind of classified them as like slight sweetness.
Oh, ouch! Oh, the truth bombs are being dropped.
Which I think is true. Like FPs are so cute and sweet, but it's like
true. It's not the FJ type of sweet.
It's so pure too. It has that kind of purity. So I thought of like FI and I kind of distillation purity.
Okay, so FI is quite idealistic or having strong beliefs. Not necessarily any particular belief. I was thinking, what if they believe in like vegetarianism? So I put soy milk. Okay. It seems like a statement to consistently drink soy milk instead of milk. So yeah.
Yeah, I consistently drink soy milk, so my inner ISFP. INFP. For INFP, I put jasmine tea. Okay, this one kind of falls off the wagon of my slight sweetness, but
Earl Grey tea, jasmine tea.
But I guess you could put a little bit of sugar in your tea if you wanted to and make it slightly sweet. But I guess with jasmine, it's like green tea plus like a jasmine flower that has like this very complex process to like make it into pearl and blah blah blah. So I thought of that as like really kind of like NE originality, like bringing these different things together. But at the same time, it has this very particular flavor profile, and most people know what jasmine tea is. So I thought of that as like a strong SI association.
Okay, I put hot chocolate because an INFP is very likely to be snuggled in a blanket and like reading a book or surfing the internet. And I feel like hot chocolate is not really a social activity. Like you don't hang out with friends and drink hot chocolate. You usually drink it by yourself on the couch alone. I feel like INFPs are good in one-on-one interactions, and they're very like comforting. Yeah, if you have a close INFP friend, I feel like they listen and they comfort you, which is what chocolate does. It makes you feel good.
And any drink with little like marshmallows floating on top is very INFP. ESFP. So for ESFP, you're gonna hate this so much. It's like so specific. I put a berry smoothie. Okay. I thought of like berries as kind of like this SE objective connection. As like they're all like very
okay.
Like they're all like a very specific type of like fruit.
But the NI makes them all berries.
Yeah, right.
Oh, okay.
It's like they all have this kind of objective connection in reality that they're all like fruits and they all grow from like plants.
This is me doing mental gymnastics.
And again, it's like smoothies have like a light sweetness because the fruit has some sugar, but it's not like overly sweet.
Okay, so I put pop. Pop is very likely to be found in parties. It's the most likely beverage other than alcohol to be at a party. I feel like ESFPs are likely to be at a party. Yeah, it's bubbly and sweet, which is all sounding like FPs.
Mm-hmm. So then for ENFP, I put a green smoothie.
Because it's weird.
Yeah, because it's like more like an NE kind of tangential connection of just like a bunch of things that are green, but they don't have any like real objective connection. It's like celery and like lime and like maybe some spinach, and they don't really, you know, they're not connected like the way all berries are connected.
So SI and NE, yeah, you're right. But that's such a SE way to understand like SI and NE. That's so crazy. This is kind of a match. I put smoothie because it's actually the exact same reason. It's because you can put anything in a smoothie. Yeah, I was literally thinking you can put fruit in a smoothie or vegetables, and it seems so random that it made me think of NE, which made me think of ENFP.
On to the TPs. So how I classify the TPs is I thought of like TI purity, so I think I tried to find like things in their purest form. So for ISTP, I put white tea. You're like another tea.
Oh my god.
So white tea, it's the least roasted tea, so it's like I think it's in that sense it's like the most kind of TI pure thing. And then I also thought of that as SE because it's like the appreciation of the plant, like as it is closest to what it would be in objective reality. And it has a very like subtle flavor, so I thought of that as like the NI in there too.
Okay, I kind of like started to run out of stuff, but I put ginger ale, which I guess is a pop, which I was like, but ginger ale is its own thing. Like there is alcoholic and non-alcoholic ginger ale, and it has like medicinal properties. I just think of like ISTPs being like so crafty and resourceful, and if you have something broken, like your stomach lining, they will fix it for you, and I thought of ginger ale in that sense.
That's good. INTP. I put water for INTP. So yeah, again, it's like this TI purity. I guess like they're on the universalist axes as per like Michael Pierce's theory. So I thought of like water as like the ultimate universal, like even just like liquid on Earth. So I thought of INTP.
For INTP, I put Soylent.
No, that's actually good.
Soylent is so creepy because of that movie, right? Where Soylent is made of humans or whatever. But no, it's supposed to be this ideal beverage where you're supposed to get all of your nutritional things throughout this drink. I just thought of it as like so TI efficient and so lacking in like the selfishness of personal desire. Like maybe if we all make Soylent, we will end world hunger by everyone drinking Soylent. It just seemed like really TI. Yeah, and having to get every nutrient at the proper level seemed kind of SI specific too, so that.
Yeah, no, that's actually really good. Only an INTP could be like, yes, I could drink Soylent every day because it just like makes sense. It's
logical thing to do. Okay. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be so offensive. We're gonna get all these INTPs saying like, I don't want to drink Soylent every day. Just kidding, guys.
ESTP. I put coffee for ESTP. I guess it's kind of pure. It's just like one bean crushed up with water. So there's that kind of TI purity there. It's like an energizing thing, and I think of like SE dominance as kind of, even just mentally having kind of energy just to kind of have that exploratory type of perception style. And coffee is kind of like loved worldwide, so I thought of that as like tertiary. FE as like a universal kind of connecting thing.
Yeah, this one is probably the least articulated, but yeah, it's like a total SI association. I put Slurpee because I just think of teenagers going on a road trip, stopping at 7-Eleven to get a Slurpee, and I feel like that's just every like horror movie pit stop at a gas station to get a Slurpee. All of those people are ESTP. So, yeah, it just seems to make sense. It's like a very summer thing.
Yeah.
Sweet, happy, cold. Yeah, good.
ENTP. So for ENTP, I put kombucha. Again, I thought it was kind of pure because it's just tea and like a bacterial culture. This idea to ferment tea is such like a weird out there idea that it's like an NETI kind of like random association thing.
Okay, I had two choices for this, and I wrote down one, but I'm gonna actually say the other one because it's closer to yours. I put nut milk for the same reason, because it's just so weird. Like, who would ever think to get milk out of a nut? So, like cashew milk or almond milk, like they're hard. Like, how do you get milk out of this? So only an NE will think of doing it. So I put that for ENTP. I don't know, it just sounds wacky too. Like, haha, nut milk. It sounds like some mischievous like FE joke. So that's it, guys. Hopefully you liked our associations. Thanks for watching, and give us suggestions for these videos in the future.
If you enjoy our channel, please consider pledging your support on Patreon, and I guess we'll see you next time.
Bye.